Welcome to Real Talk with Chuck and Pam, the podcast. And both Chuck and I are chuckling because we were discussing what movies we are going to review today for you. And as we were doing so, we came up with a new title for a movie. Chuck, share that with our listeners.
Happy, naked, and together, which would be great. I mean, if that were your life, there are a lot worse things.
This is
A lot
very
worse
true.
things. Yeah, we're referring to Happy Gilmore 2, The Naked Gun, and Together. Those are three movies that we're going to be talking about briefly this week, as well as The Fantastic Four. And I want to lead off with a movie that I am very curious as to what you think about, Pam Powell. She Rides Shotgun with Taron Egerton. This is an odd movie, and I was very curious as to what you thought about this one.
I really liked it. I
Really? Okay.
I I was surprised. I was surprised by many elements of this film. There's a where do I start? So Taron Egerton plays the
Well, it's and that's the thing. It's an action movie, family drama, road trip, uh, crime film. Yeah. Where
yeah.
do you start?
Where do you start? And I'm impressed that they were just able to squeeze everything in less than 2 hours. There's a guy named Nate, and that's played by Edgerton. And he is absolutely unrecognizable. But before we meet Nate, we also meet a little girl, and her name is Polly, played by Anna Sophia Hager, I believe is how you say her name.
Hmm.
Adorable little girl, and you can tell, she's living in the middle of nowhere. I'm not quite sure where this is supposed to be, Montana, Nebraska, I don't know, something.
I don't know, but they do end up in New Mexico as they travel. So yeah, we're
Right.
out west. We're in the Southwest somewhere.
Um, and this little girl, Polly, is waiting for her mother to show up after school. She's waiting a long time. And I get the sense that this is before cell phones. We have corded phones. So I'm going to guess it's supposed to take place maybe in the 70s or 80s. What do you think?
I think it takes place today, and that
Okay.
Polly is too young to have a phone, or they're too poor.
Okay. Okay. Either way, it works. And Polly does not get a hold of her mother, but all of a sudden we see this dilapidated car pull up, and obviously, I mean, the guy he's wearing a hoodie, he's a little sketchy. He's got a shaved head once he pulls his hood off and tattoos. She's a little fearful of him, but yet there's some familiarity there as well. I loved how they set this up. We're screaming in our heads, "Don't get in the car." And she gets in the car. That creepy guy is Nathan, played by Taron Egerton, and he has just been released from jail. As I said, she is expecting her mother to show up to pick her up, but it's not her mother. This is her biological father, we learn. He's got a suitcase in tow for her. She's questioning, where's mommy? Is she okay? Is everything okay? And he is antsy as all get out and telling her it's all fine, it's all good. They get to a motel, and we're not sure, is she being kept against her will or is she okay? We're still not sure. And then we hear a little earlier when they check into the motel, we hear a little glimpse on the TV of a double homicide. And then she, while her dad sleeps, sees on TV that her mother and stepfather have been brutally murdered. So then our minds are going every which way. He's the killer. We just know he is. But turns out he's got a green light on him, which means that he has been targeted by this mob that he befriended in jail. See how this is a complicated story. Yes, go ahead, Chuck. He's raising his
Why,
hand.
why is he been targeted to be killed?
From my understanding, he is indebted to this gang that protected him while he was incarcerated,
Right.
and he has tried to break away from this gang and not pay his debt.
Okay. All right. All right.
That's what I got from it. Um, in any case, he knows that that's why his ex-wife and her husband have been murdered, and he is trying to save his little girl. I think that's a pretty good summation, don't you?
Right, but you left out the police officer that is also on their tail.
Well, of
Uh,
course, because he's suspected of a double homicide. And so
right,
he's
but there's one
case.
cop who sees the truth and says, "Wait a second, this isn't quite right." And I just saw this actor in another film too. John Park is his name. So you got that, and then you got all these gang members after them, and then we infiltrate uh,
A meth
this
lab.
compound, this huge, incredible compound meth lab run by the crime lord, played by the old, always reliable John Carroll Lynch. Um, to me, the whole movie is the little girl.
Oh,
This girl is fantastic.
isn't she amazing?
She was incredible, and it's going to be a long time before I shake the final image of this movie.
Uh,
Uh,
it's
Jesus,
heartbreaking.
it's heartbreaking, and she is fantastic.
She
I
really
mean,
is.
she is. You know, a lot of times these child actors, they have an affected performance. It's not quite sincere, and there's not a false note from this kid at any point.
And from Edgerton as well. Uh,
Right, right. But I mean, I expect that from him.
sure.
I don't expect it from a 10-year-old girl who is involved in every single scene, and I don't see one false moment at all. She was great. She's the thing that kept me hooked in this movie. I thought it was a little sloppy. I thought
Really?
we were all over the place with so many different things going on, and I had a hard time seeing her in peril towards the end.
Okay.
I,
Okay. And
I Go
I
ahead.
I understand that. And I know you struggled that with that in other movies as well when they put a child or a baby in danger. And I get that. I and that was very troublesome for me. She was a very headstrong little girl. I didn't like the influences of some of the things that her father
Right,
was teaching her to do. I'm
right.
glad that they didn't bring one element full circle. They tried to, it didn't work, but it worked in the movie, this
Right.
element that I'm referring to.
It
Uh,
did.
that would have made it a little too, I don't know, contrived that way. I agree with you. It is all over. I don't want to say it's all over the place because there are a lot of subplots going on because they actually tie everything together. Everything does wrap up together because
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
is intertwined. So I was okay with that. Had it not have like another movie that I saw and I'm blanking on the name of it, these elements all have to come together. And I was engrossed by Polly and what was happening to her. I loved the two of them together, Taryn and Anna. They felt like they could be this estranged father-daughter. There was a connection there. There was just such an element of reality to this crime story that I not for a minute didn't think it was happening. I mean, Edgerton, what was one of his first movies? Was that Driver? Was he in Driver?
He was not in Drive, but he was in the Kingsman action films. He
Okay.
was in Eddie the Eagle, the
Oh,
Wolf
Eddie
Barn.
the Eagle. I love that movie.
He was Elton John
Yeah.
in Rocket Man.
Um,
He did Blackbird, which I loved
yes.
on Apple.
Blackbird and most recently Smoke, which is on Apple TV also, and now this one. And he is a leading man. He is a powerhouse in my mind. I feel like he can take on any role and become that person and not be Taron Egerton.
Yeah. Well, I had the good fortune of interviewing him for this film. You can read that interview on our website, Real Talk with Chuck and Pam. Yeah, what a personable guy. You and I have talked about this. You don't want to do an interview, you just want to sit down and have a conversation, and that's what this was. And so yeah, go to our website and check that out. It was a really insightful interview about the making of this movie, and also his working relationship with Anna Sophia Hager. So yeah, I want to say just finally, I didn't hate the film. I just was kind of on the fence on it. So
Okay, okay. I really enjoyed it. I have a hard time saying the word enjoy,
you were
but
engaged, you were
I am
involved.
engaged by it. I was entertained by it. I would definitely recommend seeing this movie.
All right.
Um, so yeah, I think anytime I see Taron Egerton, I am going to watch the movie.
Exactly. And that's, yeah, yeah, exactly. And I know also, anytime you see superheroes, you say, "Oh, I'm going to watch that movie." Poor
Chuck,
Pam. Her head is hanging, got the hang dog expression on her face. Poor Pam. She's had to sit through two of them in the last 2 weeks. Pam, I got good news. There's
huh?
not going to be another one for a long time.
What is a long time in superhero realms?
A
Is
year?
that a whole year?
A year.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, hey, you got to remember, we used to get three a year.
I know. I do remember.
Okay, I know you remember. So we used to get three a year, and if you had both studios having them come out, sometimes it was 4 or 5 a year. So yeah, next summer we get Spider-Man again. So you got a break coming up.
All right. And I am kind of intrigued by the Spider-Man stuff.
Spider-Man stuff tends to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I'm
consistent.
okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
However, the Fantastic Four, Chuck, I'd like you to review that one, and I will interject intermittently.
Okay. Okay. Now, of course, we are coming to this from completely different perspectives. Of course,
Of course.
uh, the Fantastic Four was the first of the Marvel comics to hit big. This is the thing that really starts it all for Marvel. Um, and this is a movie that a comic I started reading when I was 10.
Hmm.
So it's been, almost 50 years that I've been around with the Fantastic Four. So obviously, I'm going to, I really like the film. I really like the film for a lot of reasons. And I think there's probably one thing that you liked about it, and that would have been the look of it.
Oh, absolutely. That is one thing I give it a lot of credit for. I felt like I was immersed into a comic book.
Exactly right. It's like you can hear the pages flipping
Yes.
as you're watching the film, and that was the whole look of the initial period of of the Fantastic Four. Those blues, those whites, that retro futuristic thing, and that took me right into the comic and evoked a lot of memories. Um, and the other thing I liked about this film is that it's not an origin story. We're picking up after they've been around for 4 years. And of course, we're talking about Ben Grimm, Johnny Storm, Sue Storm, and Reed Richards. We get a brief recap as to what happened to them, their ill fated trip to outer space, and how they come back with powers that reflect their personalities. Did you catch that, by the way?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Reed Richards, he's Mr. Fantastic. He can stretch because he's always stretching himself. He's always stretching science. He's always stretching his physical and mental capabilities.
Thank you.
Sue, Sue has always felt invisible in his shadow, as though
Oh,
she has no worth. So she's the invisible woman. Johnny has a temper, so he's a hothead. And Ben has always been insecure about his looks, so he's the thing. So all of those things are a reflection of their personalities.
Chuck,
Yes.
thank you for Chuck explaining. I really appreciate it.
Okay. I'm flipping you off right now. Okay. All right.
No, I'm serious. You're like I've said, every single superhero movie that we've had to endure, or as you say, enjoy. If I had your knowledge base of all of these characters and from the comic books, I think I would enjoy it a lot more. Um, I think next superhero movie that comes out, which will be Spider-Man next summer, I want you to sit down and explain everything about all these characters that will be either introduced or reintroduced in the new Superman, no, would you say Spider-Man
Spider,
movie?
Spidey, yeah.
To explain these kinds of nuances because that gives it depth. I just called him Stretchy Man and, you know, fire breather. I mean, these are the words that came into my head. I don't know
Right.
these characters from Adam. And, I do love watching. I was really bummed that even Moss
Right.
Backrack from The Bear, I am madly in love with him. And I was really bummed that we didn't
You
get
don't
to
see
see
him.
his face,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
in the beginning, and that was it. I'm like, damn it, I like seeing him.
Yeah. 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 Oh, I agree. I agree. And the other thing that they get right from the comics that made them distinctive is this whole familial aspect, the whole family thing. That's always been the key to that comic book and separating it from others. And and the film does a great job with that as well. I think you really get the sense that they love each other, that they're going to pull for each other, that they're all in this together. One of their big villains, other than Doctor Doom, is Galactus, and he is the big bad this time. Galactus, if you don't know, is this space entity, and he is so huge that the only way he can sustain himself is to basically eat planets. That is, suck the life and suck the
Uh,
energy out of planets, just leaving, barren husks in his wake. And he
I
has
totally get
his,
that.
yeah, that's what he does. He's just that big, and as he says, it's a curse. He wants to get rid of this, but he can't.
So
Yeah.
why does he want the baby?
Because the baby has the power cosmic, and the baby he knows is going to grow to the point to where it's going to be powerful enough that it can take his place and finally release him, and will need the power of planets in order to survive.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, he's done with this. He's been doing this for who knows how many eons.
Okay. I
His
I
Yeah.
got the fact that he needed the baby to get out of this curse, the so-called curse, but I didn't understand.
Well, remember at the end, which we won't talk about?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because Reed and Sue have had a baby and they have powers. Their child, Franklin, now has this thing called the power cosmic. And that is what, if you sat through the first credit sequence,
What?
did you or you left, didn't you?
No, I sat through it.
Yeah, and you saw the guy with the green cloak and the mask off.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's Doctor Doom.
Uh,
And that's the Fantastic Four biggest villain, and he's interested in Franklin. He's
okay.
now going to be focused on getting the kid because he knows that he's going to be the key to controlling everything.
You know, I did like there are two other things that are not going to mean anything to you.
Right.
But I did like the fact that, when these two characters who have been altered by space, genetically altered, they were very concerned about being pregnant, which is what
Yeah.
they had tried to do before they had gone to space and had no luck. And they kind of think they figure they can't have a kid. And now, surprise, surprise, they're having a kid. And they were worried about what
Mhm.
is this child going to be? Or is it going to be deformed? Is it going to have genetic mutations that we can't deal with? I thought that was just so relevant for today's world.
Well, and wait till they get pregnant again
Oh, okay.
because they have a daughter.
Oh, and she's going to be bad, isn't she?
Well, the daughter, Valeria, the problem with her is she ends up being smarter than Reed.
Okay.
And that puts the whole dynamic of the family in flux because
Okay.
Reed's used to being the smartest one and being in control. And it doesn't take long before he figures out Valeria is smarter than him.
Okay. Well,
And
don't we want that? We want our children to be better than us.
we certainly do, unless you have Dr. Doom then coming in and wanting to control your kids because he realizes that Valeria is smarter than Reed and him.
Okay.
Doom is going to be the key to all of this because he starts coming in and wants to meddle with the family, and you don't screw with the family,
Okay.
and that's the big problem. Silver Surfer shows up. Yes, go ahead.
The other thing that I noticed is that Vanessa Kirby, who I adore her,
Yeah, she's great.
um, she once again gives birth on screen. Do you remember Pieces of a Woman?
And she said in an interview that she took elements from that and her experience from that film to help her with this film.
Yeah, she can give birth on screen and make me like clench and breathe and hold my breath.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yep.
No, no, thank you. Um, Galactus shows up, and they, of course, have to solve this problem. Um, it's standard superhero stuff, but the thing, like I said, I like about it is the characters. I mean, the characters, I liked every one of them. I was concerned about the casting of this film. Pedro Pascal is not Reed, but within 10 minutes, I didn't care. I mean, I got past those problems. I just thought all four of the characters were exactly right. and I cared for them, and that to me was the key of the movie. I wanted more of the characters, basically, and less action, quite frankly. I enjoyed their interactions and stuff like that. The superhero stuff was fine, but it wasn't spectacular or groundbreaking by any stretch. But
Uh-huh.
this is all set up. This is all set up because they're going to be the key to this whole next Marvel thing. Seeing as how the original Avengers are gone, so we'll see where we go from here. I think it's a good start for them.
Okay. Uh, in polar opposition to you, I was bored by it
Mm-hmm.
all. I didn't care about the characters, obviously, because I didn't know all this other stuff about them. Had I have known it, then maybe I would have cared a little bit more and understood their relationship as a family a little bit more. I don't think that the writing allowed someone like me to enjoy it.
Right.
Uh, I think that you have to be a fan of this stuff and know these stories to enjoy it, which is kind of sad because it sounds like there's just so much more to it. Why couldn't they have made it so that I could have enjoyed it?
Well, I think it's a fine line because how do you cater to people who know it extensively and those coming in? It's rough to do that. I mean, you're going to bore people like me if we just have another origin story.
Okay.
you know and I think that's part of the superhero fatigue
Yeah.
is that they've become very rote. Okay, there's an accident, we're going to see this person become this hero, blah 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 blah. And you can see with Superman as well, they tried to get away with that.
Yeah.
We're not doing an origin, we're going to assume this shit and we're going to hit the ground running.
Right.
And as you just said, that's going to have problems in and of itself.
Right. So I guess the long and the short of it is, and no pun intended, get it long and short
Yeah,
is
yeah,
watching.
Mr. Fantastic.
If you're a fan of this series and you know these characters, go see it. You'll enjoy it. I've heard nothing but great things from people who know this stuff. And if you're like me and you don't know it, skip it because you're going to be bored.
So let's move on to Happy Naked Together.
Happy naked together. Let's start with happy.
Happy,
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 happy, happy.
happy
Happy.
Gilmore too.
Kelsey and I watched the original Happy Gilmore that came out how many years ago? Like 20, 30 years ago?
30 years ago.
30
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah,
Um, it's silly, stupid fun. I had
yeah.
fun with the original. When I first saw it, I had fun with it. And I've seen bits and pieces. It's one of those like guilty pleasure kind of movies, you know? I'll
It's a
watch
cult
bits and
film.
pieces. Hmm?
It's a cult film.
Yeah,
I would almost say it's a touchstone. Everyone knows the movie.
absolutely. And
You
and
know,
I know
you know,
everybody.
you say "suck my white ass ball." Everyone knows where it comes from.
And then just the whole Happy Gilmore stance and drive off the green.
Right, right.
I want you and Grant and maybe Alex too. When you're on vacation, you're across the street from a golf course, give that a shot. I want somebody to record that and we'll post that on our
The-
page.
These folks at this golf course are a little snooty. I think they'd throw us out. When we're at there's a there's a driving range not far, a public driving range not far from here. We'll try it there.
Okay, all right, that
We'll
sounds
try
good.
it there. Okay.
Now, you know Kristen. Kristen is quite the golfer, and
Really? Okay.
she can do the Happy Gilmore drive. She's really pretty good at it.
I'd love to see that. Okay,
I
great.
When we golf next, I will videotape her doing it.
I didn't know you golfed.
I took that up during COVID. I took up sailing and golf, neither of which am I any good at, just because they were social activities outdoors in a safe space.
Right.
I
Well, I
suck.
just started, so we're going to have to get together. This is
Oh, we
great.
should. We absolutely should. That
All
would be
right,
fun.
good. It's a date.
All right.
Uh,
So Happy Gilmore 2 picks up where Happy Gilmore ended. Um,
and something happens that we probably shouldn't say.
you're probably right.
Yeah, yeah. But people discover that on their own. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So
But he
he,
loses everything. That's the key.
yeah, he's in a bad place and he doesn't love golf anymore. He doesn't play anymore, but he is lured back into the circuit because he needs some money basically. And so this is
Yeah.
all,
His daughter wants to go to ballet school in Paris. And
and
it's
so
a
he needs
heavy
that money
price
to
tag.
help her out.
Yeah.
I think it's one girl and four boys is what he has.
Yeah, which is
Oh my
funny
God,
as
the
hell.
boys are hilarious. I told you no fighting, fighting in the basement only. Okay.
Yeah, it's funny.
There
And the
there are some
girl is
really
played what?
there are some really funny moments in this film.
Yeah, yeah. And the girl is played again as usual by his daughter.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah,
his other daughter does show up in it, and I believe his
right.
wife does as well.
Yeah, his wife is the dance instructor at the beginning, which is fine because they're all good.
Oh, they're
I have no.
fine. They
Yeah,
absolutely are. They're and it's cool. Everyone has always said that Adam Sandler, if you're in one of his movies, you are a part of his family for the rest of his life. And we got the chance to talk with him a couple of years ago at the Critics Choice Awards, where Kristen and I had taken a cab ride, an Uber ride from the mother of one of the kids that was in his movies from 20
the
years ago,
grown-ups. Yeah.
grown-ups. And he remembered her. And he's like, "Oh, how's she doing?" Blah, blah, blah. He asked all these questions. And you could see that this was like genuine interest and he does care about people. And so it's really kind of cool to see a lot of the people that have been in other movies always come back to these films with
Yeah.
him, even if it's just a short little snippet, a little cameo, they're there. This is fun. It's predictable. You know what's going to happen. It's silly. It's a little raunchy. It's fun. I think it's a little long. I think there should have been a little more editing. What
Well,
do you
yeah,
think?
the third act has a lot of problems with it. But you're right. I mean, this, you don't go in looking for Citizen Kane or Lawrence of Arabia. You just want some laughs. And you're right. It's neat seeing these people. It's like seeing old friends. It's like, oh, there he is again. Oh, there's that guy. I want to point out a couple things. Bad Bunny as the caddy is funny as hell. I had no idea he could be that funny.
Okay. Oh, he
Wait,
was really funny. And Bad Bunny is a musician, a
he's
singer?
a musician. Apparently, he's a rapper guy, something, or a musician. But yeah, he's a musician, and he was funny as hell.
Oh, he was
And
very funny.
I was glad that they gave the character of yeah, I was glad they gave the character Shooter
Yes.
a redemptive arc. I'm glad that he came back and wasn't the dick that he was before and realized what was going on. And I always liked that actor, Christopher McDonald.
He's
Uh,
funny.
yes, they give him some really good moments as well. So I was glad to see that. That was good. So
Yep. So Adam Sandler promised to come back with ten really shitty movies, and I think he's come back with like five already that have been a lot of fun and very good. So thank you, Adam Sandler.
yeah, yeah, it's a good deal with Netflix. So yeah,
Yep.
keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Um, and what else do we have? We've got I touch on Together a little bit, and I'll touch on The Naked Gun.
Together is Allison Brie, one of the sexiest women alive, and Dave Franco. They're together in real life. They're married, and they play a couple who have been together too long in this. Uh, they live in New York. She has stood by. Tim is the character's name as he's tried to make it in the music industry. It's not happening for Tim. It's not going to happen, but he doesn't realize and still is hanging on. She has taken a teaching job, Millie, in upstate New York, and she's like, "We got to go. We got to go. We got to move. Got to move." He doesn't want to move, but he feels as though he has to because she stood by him. So away they go. And you can tell that these resentments and things that haven't been said that need to be said are eventually going to be said. They are tension, is right there. They go out hiking in the area and they stumble upon basically what's a sinkhole. And they fall in this sinkhole and they can't get out, at night. And they find this pool there. He's thirsty. He takes a drink out of this pool and he notices that there's like artifacts of a building and other things there. It's really kind of odd. He takes a drink from the pool. They fall asleep together, and when they wake up, they realize that their legs are stuck together.
Hmm.
And as they pull them apart, it's very painful, and they leave open wounds on each other. Well, things get stranger because whenever she is away from him, he starts to get seizures. And the only way to stop the seizures is to be physically closer to her. They, of course, go through medical things to try and figure out what's going on. And he does some research because apparently a couple went hiking about a year before and they disappeared. And he's trying to put the pieces together of just what's going on. There's a couple surprises in the third act that make sense. And this movie really does I mean, it's a body horror film. I mean, they have to deal with, they make love at one point before they figure out what's going on. And boy, that ends up being, yeah, the expression on your
Yeah.
face, exactly right. That's a problem once they get finished. But the movie is all about,
Oh,
codependency. Yeah,
I can't get that image out of my head. I
well,
cannot picture what it is.
yeah, and they have a quick shot of something that you don't ever want to see, but
Okay.
there it is. Um, it's all about codependency. It's about the things that we don't say. It's about the compromises we make,
Yeah,
and it's about how codependency is inescapable if you're in any sort of relationship,
sure.
and how you've got to come to terms with that. It's just part and parcel of what happens. I The movie's a little bit long for me. I thought it could have been hacked down by about 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
I won't say they bury the lead, but the impact of it isn't what it should be because it takes us a little long to get there. But they're great. I mean,
Okay.
the two, they're great. They're always good together. And I read an interview in which they said that it was therapeutic for them to go through this experience. So I wouldn't suggest it to anyone. But if you're having problems in your relationship, going to see this movie might prompt some good conversations that need to be had.
All right. Good deal. I am going to try and go see that tonight. I'm going to see if Kristen wants to go see a movie, and should be interesting.
Please
Um,
do. I want to hear what you guys think about it. It's interesting.
okay. The other movie, and I'll just briefly touch on it because it kind of reminds me a little bit of Happy Gilmore 2, is The Naked Gun. This is not a remake. This picks up, I don't know, 20, 30 years later, also of the Leslie Nielsen Naked Gun series. And we've got Liam Neeson taking on that lead role of Frank Drebin Jr. He plays the son, and there are a lot of other sons, including Paul Walter Hauser, who plays Ed Hockney Jr. This is just outright funny. I laughed out loud. I will never see the word manslaughter the same again. It makes me want to laugh out loud even right now. It
Yeah,
is,
they ruined that by putting it in the trailer.
well, that's what Alex said that she saw it too, Alex from CBS 58.
Yeah, I
And
was
I'm
like,
like,
don't
really?
give us
They
that.
put that in
No.
there? Because
Yeah.
I laughed out loud like for like 3 minutes after. I was
Uh-huh.
laughing out loud in the audience. And I had a couple people looking at me like, what is your deal? It just, it
It
is.
just hits you in the right spot, right?
Oh, it really does. It truly tickled my funny bone. There were a lot of callbacks to previous characters and previous personalities. There's one cameo in there you're going to want to see. Stick around for the credits. I'm not going to tell you any more than that, other than I see Liam Neeson in a new and much better light.
Well, at least Leslie Nielsen was a serious actor before he started those
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So, and people said, Liam Neeson, this isn't going to work. I said, no, this will work. He knows what he's doing. And it looks though Pam Anderson's good as well.
She is phenomenal. She
Yeah.
is absolutely wonderful in this role. Everything works. It is an hour and 15 minutes long, Chuck.
I love it already.
I know, right?
I
Well,
love it already.
we gotta wrap things up here. Thanks for listening, everybody. Real Talk with Chuck and Pam.com, our EEL Talk with Chuck and Pam.com.
See that? Go there for that Taron Egerton interview. I think you'll enjoy it.